self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists, back for another wonderful, fantastic episode. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at Red_Calamity. Also, we're still doing the listener-related portion of the show. So if you have a question or a Reddit or anything you would like to send us, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists, and send it to us that way. You can also tag us on Twitter, because we had somebody tag me. And listen, I am very proud because I saw this tweet within 30 minutes of her tweeting it. And I'm trying to be better about getting on Twitter just to see if anybody's added me. I really don't use Twitter, but like I'll get on to see if I've had any ads. So you could do it on Twitter as well. She sent us a BuzzFeed. It's kind of like a Reddit post. I didn't read it because when I saw the title, I was like, oh, this is some fuckery. Let me just save this. So yeah, so we do have that. And I think Colin sent us some stuff.
Okay.
Which one you want to do first, Colin or Miss Buns?
Well, let me give y'all some life updates real quick.
Oh, okay? Yes, because you've had a fucking week.
The overall arching moment in my life is that I'm leaving the South. I'm leaving Alabama and I'm moving to Hawaii. I don't know if I've said that on the show or not.
You have not.
I'm moving to Hawaii, and everybody, when I say I'm moving to Hawaii, like, oh, Hawaii, oh man, I want to go to Hawaii. Like everybody, that's just the universal good shit to do is to move like to Hawaii.
Beautiful. Like you just think of positive things when you think of Hawaii, unlike when you think of Alabama.
I mean, so that's universal good shit to do. And people like, yo, Hawaii, oh, goddamn, Hawaii. So that's the major change going on in my life. Earlier this week, Tuesday, I had a tooth removed. This tooth been giving me problems for a few years. It's a root canal that I got that went south. And basically what happened is I got a root canal at a place that thought that cleaning out the infection was enough, and they didn't give me antibiotics. And so the infection was still under my tooth and it continued to grow.
Ouch.
I went to UAB and that's what happened. So, and negligence is really why I didn't go get it fixed. But what it was it was a tooth basically floating in my mouth, kind of, that I could like wiggle down and push down. But I went and I got that checked out, that tooth removed. And because that tooth was kind of floating a little bit, I couldn't eat right. I couldn't talk right. I couldn't sing right. I couldn't do anything right because at the threat of biting down on my tooth and it hurting a little bit. Got that removed, so I'm feeling good about that. Yesterday I got up to go and visit a client Saturday morning, and I'm riding down the interstate and my car was shaking a little bit, and then I heard a pop, and when I heard a pop, I saw my hood pop up a little bit. So I was like, oh shit, something has dislodged. I'm finna pull over, call a tow truck, period. That's just what you want me to do. I pulled over and this I got out the car, tow truck. This old lady pulled up, an old nice lady, but like she was like, you need any help? I'm like, ma'am, if you're not a mechanic that can stop smoking out a car, I don't know what you stopped for. No idea. But she stopped, she was recording Facebook Live the whole time and shit. She probably was just trying to be nosy and shit.
Yeah, she was.
And
so there's a Facebook Live of you rolling around
somewhere.
I
mean, I called the podcast group when all of this shit started, and I was like, hey, y'all, look at my car. It's on fire. So my car caught on fire out on the side of the road, and that bitch was just burning flames.
Now keep in mind, On Point does not respond to things in the way that a normal person responds. Okay. I'm on call this weekend and I actually had to go to work. So I'm on my way to work and he calls me first. Like he calls me on the phone And I answered, and I thought it was odd he was calling me because it was kind of early in the morning for like him to call. And he was just like, yo, you won't believe this, but my car's on fire. Even tone, just like that. And so I'm like, nigga, what? Your car's on fire. What do you mean? Like he stays the same no matter what the fuck is going on. And this is a testament to that. Not responding to them. Now I'm not gonna, I mean, it's not much you can do, but I think I would have had a little more emotion. Like if I had called him because my shit was on fire, I would have like, nigga, my fucking car. But he was just like, my car's on fire. Just even kill. But go on with your story. I just had to interject that because the way he sounds right now is how he sounded when it was happening. This is not because, and this is just the next day. So he ain't even that far removed from the incident. But I don't want y'all to think that this is because, you know, he's out of this incident. This is how he sounded when it was happening.
Look,
What was going on?
This is why I'm, I've been trying to figure out what's going on with my emotional self. Like, does something happen that would spike my emotion and my emotion come back down fast because that's how well I regulate? Or is this that I don't even feel it? I don't know. I mean, there are moments where I feel things intensely, but they so sporadic and minimal. Like I don't, you know. But anyway, my
It's
car's on fire.
amazing to know you. I just want to say that. Like, because I feel like I'm on the other. No, I wouldn't say I'm on the other end of the spectrum because I don't think that when I respond to some shit, I respond. But it's a lot of stuff that I just like. I'm not gonna do it, or I don't give a fuck about it. So it is what it is. Like, but it's amazing to see. Just, it's unbelievable.
We were joking, man. Everybody from the podcast was on the chat, and
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all guys, nerd plate and government name, because they was out there, ready to come pick me up, ready to do whatever. I mean, I had hung up on one call, while everybody was on it. I hung up, and then I came back to call, and I joined. They were still all on the call, just waiting to see what was going on. So I mean. That's like that's what support is like when you have a group of people. Like someone was in the bed, someone woke up, but everybody got up and was like, "Are you straight?" So I appreciate that from them guys. So while they were on the phone with me, they got to witness this white guy jump out of his car and he started running up the hill towards my car. And I'm like, what the hell he doing? I don't want to see white people get blew up today. I don't know much about how car fires escalate, but he ran up to the car and just opened the doors, I guess to check to see if somebody was in there. And that got to me, you know what I'm saying? It got me in my feelings because he thought that we were just standing over there watching motherfuckers burn. When he pulled up, he was like, why are those two watching them burn? They must not be heroes. Fucking white man hero ability activate. Ran full speed over there and opened the doors and gonna look back at me and thumbs up me like, bitch, get the fuck away from that dangerous shit.
Now, this is when his voice elevated because he was like, nobody's in the car. Get away from the car.
Yeah, like, nobody's in the car, motherfucker. And he came up to me and I was like, look, I was trying to wave you out because nobody was in the car. He's like, I couldn't hear you. Okay, man, go back to tend to your fucking kids, man. He had 2 kids in the car. I'm like, what kind of trauma you gonna get these kids if they seen your ass blow up and your head's gonna fall on the fucking windshield? If it was a movie, that's what would happen.
He was gonna be a hero. He was gonna, these other people were just standing by and he rushed in there and he saved that baby out of the backseat of that car.
So my car it's burning, and the police come and the fire department come and they put the fire out. And another highlight was I was on the phone with everybody and a black sheriff pulled up. And I was like, let me get off the phone, y'all, because this nigga finna be mad. For whatever reason. Because I saw him, he had one of them hats on, one of them goddamn stiff ass hats with the chin strap. I was like, he finna be mad. I don't even know why. I feel like just because it's another black person that ain't a police officer on the scene, and he probably became a sheriff because black folks fucked with him his whole life. When I tell you he used every iota of his existence to pretend like I wasn't there, I was like, God damn, I ain't never seen somebody be so intent to pretend like somebody wasn't there. I mean, he clearly, the dude pointed at me and said that my car was on fire, and then he walked over to the car, past me, and just looked directly straight, like no change at all. He was probably like, I want this nigga to see what power feels like when I walk by. I don't know what the fuck his head, but that's what happened. And he went back to his car with the same energy that he walked to my car with. And I was like, I told him, I said, let me get the fuck away from this side of the road, man. The police asked me if I wanted to ride. I was like, no, I got somebody on the way, even though I didn't have nobody on the way. But I've seen enough movies that take place in the 50s to know when the police ask you if you want on a ride, that you finna get dropped off in the woods with less limbs than you had when you got in the car. But I ain't want to do that. I know this ain't the 50s, but I'm a worst case scenario thinker. And but the reality is, after all of that stuff, to be honest, this is the best case scenario. And so I've been talking to people all day, and I've been calling people all day about this shit. I called my mom, I called my brother, I called everybody. I posted a Facebook post, so people started calling me after the Facebook post because people saw the picture before they read anything. So it looked like I had a wreck, more so than it burned. So people were thinking that, I guess they were thinking I was in the car when some shit went down. In reality, I got out my car when I thought it was just a regular, issue that needed maintenance or fixing. But people was calling me and they were responding like I was supposed to be a lot more concerned. So this was a moment where I was like, either they don't understand exactly what went on, or I ain't concerned enough about my life. Like, motherfucker, I guess my mama thought I'd call her from the afterlife or something. When I talked to her, I was like, Mama, I'm here. I'm talking to you. I called you. I'm fine.
But moms go to worst case scenario. Like, that's just, I don't know what it is about being a mom, but if your child call you with some dangerous shit, like, they freak out.
It started making me say, am I presenting this wrong? I don't need to start off with my car was on fire. I need to start off with, hey, I'm okay. But that sounds weird too, because motherfuckers be like, oh shit, you got cancer or something. You call people saying, look, I'm okay. There's nothing wrong. Everything is resolved. Motherfuckers working themselves up at that point. So, but I talked to
respond to things differently. Like I said, I don't think that your response was what the average person's response would have been, because you were just so like, how you are right now.
Well, I don't think anybody believed that I was really okay. But this moment is right here is me just saying I was okay and I am okay, and this is why. Number one, first thing, I thought my car was just broken. I was gonna have to fix it. I knew it was gonna be an engine issue, which meant that because something dislodged in my engine, so that was gonna be a big bill. That was gonna be $3,000 to $5,000 of fixing my car. And so the fact that my car caught on fire made it an insurance claim. So that's number one. Okay, I'm okay. I'm gonna get paid for my car. And number two, because I'm moving to Hawaii, I was going to sell my car anyway, or potentially ship it over to Hawaii. The fact that this happened right before I moved means that shipping it would have been something that I shouldn't have did, because my car wasn't suitable for much more road travel. And I'm gonna get cut for it now, instead of trying to do the hustling, bustling, and paying. Now it's insurance, so it'll probably be a little check, but it'll be a check nonetheless. Versus what I may be able to get off some people. Not only that, if I would have sold it, I would have sold it to somebody who would have got a car that was finna fucking bite the dust. But the last thing is that, like, I've been doing community work with Restoring Hope's Counseling, the agency that me, Latoria, and Derek started, that me and Latoria are currently running. And I've been asking myself, is it really time for me to move on to the next part of my life? Is it really time for me to stop community work, stop going into the community, and go try to be stationary or get an office or see individual clients or do telehealth or do something that don't put me in the community? And my car has been the essence of all of the community work that I've done. for the last 8 years. I've been driving that thing through all parts of Birmingham, the good parts, the bad parts, all parts of Shelby County, deep into the Trump world boondocks. I had a client next to a cotton field one time that we just stood out the side of the cotton field having a session.
I know.
And it's the epitome of all the work I've done. So if I had any doubts about whether I was making the right decision, the way that I look at it is that the universe, or for you, God, or Buddha, or whatever your faith is, the universe answered my question clearly for me through what happened yesterday. So I really, from the moment my car caught on fire, was surprisingly at peace with it happening, and I feel better today than I did the day before yesterday. And people don't understand that in the assessment of what happened, but I do appreciate everybody's concern. Everybody was like, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad to feel supported in a moment like this. Even though a lot of the people who said that they were supported are relatively strangers and just distant, but like, you just don't realize how much value it is that a lot of people just say they hope they glad you okay and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that was my week. It was wild, but I just wanted to get that out before we start the show because it was going to be in my head to say this stuff before, or I was going to make references to it without y'all knowing. So,
But we don't know. I mean, my week was nothing compared to that. The only thing that happened to me this week is I got another job. So I will be going back to doing therapy. I was doing less, so I mean, I really wasn't doing therapy at all in the job that I have now. So I'm transitioning back, offering those services, and that makes me happy because I feel like that's where I shine, making connections with people, helping them through stuff. I feel like that's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to get all frou-frou and be like, but I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I feel my most useful when I'm doing that, and so yeah, I'm excited. I used On Point as a reference. Well, this another job is looking at me, but I used On Point as a reference, and he told them that my face is expressive.
I did. I didn't expect them to ask that question. Usually they just ask good shit. Like, it's an awkward position when one of your friends trying to get a job and they be like, where are their weaknesses, or where can they, the way they asked it though was, where areas do you think they can grow? And I was like, I don't even know if this is a growth area, but you can read her face. If she don't like something, then you can see it right immediately. And but I turned that to a strength. I was like, but if it's something that she don't like, she is very communicative about it. She will get to the bottom of it and make sure that she understands what you're trying to get her to understand. And you'll know that she understands it by the time it's over, if she didn't like it or she didn't understand it or whatever. But that's an awkward question to ask.
Yeah, I didn't know what they were gonna. First of all, yeah, I didn't think they were actually gonna call my references because I had already. They don't know this, but I accepted another job. So like, when she asked me about references, I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then I found out she called all three of my references because she did. So I don't know. I might be getting another offer. It's better than the one I got. I'm just saying. Might not be going to the current place. But I don't think it's gonna be better, so we'll see. That was all that happened to me this week. No car issue. I've already had my car issues. First, I ran over a fucking fork in the hood ass neighborhood in which the hospital that I work at is located in, and then because I was out with surgery and hadn't cranked my car up, I went out right before trying to go vote, and my fucking car was dead, but no explosions or anything. So
yeah, you
I count
good.
myself lucky. Yeah.
You good.
So
But you
Colin or
can
Cinnabon? Or
Colin. Let's go with Cinnabon.
okay. I don't know if it's Miss Esbun or Cinnabon. I don't want to say it wrong. But this came through on Twitter. It was It was a BuzzFeed post, and the title of it, which I was like, the fuck, was share my boyfriend made me sleep on the couch so he could share a bed with his guy friend. Is this normal? Should I be concerned or just forget about it? Girl. What? So I haven't read it because I saw that title and I was like, let me say this shit for the show. So this is my first time reading about it. So my 26-year-old boyfriend of 6 months had a guy high school friend come visit last weekend and insisted that they both sleep in his bed. We all had plans to hang out Friday night, and I planned to stay at his place. He said I had to sleep on the couch so his friend could sleep in his bed with him. He wasn't really chill about it. Words were, if we don't sleep in the same bed, I will be very upset with you. I asked why he cared so much, and he said they used to have sleepovers all the time and would stay up and talk. Most of my friends think it's weird that he would want to sleep with his guy friend over me, and so do I. I don't want to make a big deal about it because I'm dramatic, but I just felt kind of hurt by it. I need a guy's opinion on this. Is this normal? Should I be concerned or just forget about it? Damn. That does not sound good. But she wanted a guy's opinion, so take it away, On Point.
I feel like I need to know more about the boyfriend. I think that knowing more about the boyfriend will give me some insight.
Okay.
Because if the boyfriend is a childlike boyfriend and he perceived this as a sleepover, pillow fort type shit.
At 26?
That's why I'm saying the variable is that he would be a childish ass 26-year-old. You know, we be mean grown men that be like stuck in their 8-year-old selves.
True.
If he's that kind of guy, I can see that. However, you don't have to accept that fucking standard. You is in a fucking relationship, boy. And you got to understand that relationships, but that's another part is, why would his friend be okay with that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe they do more on these sleepovers than what he's, because.
But look. Okay, let me answer the question. Shit's not normal, okay? But normal just really means, society shit. You know what I'm saying? Normal just means what everybody do. So a lot of people do some shit out the norm. I mean, we got a whole BDSM community where motherfuckers is chained up or sleeping in a chest while their partner is sleeping in the bed. You know, it's so much different weird shit out there. I guess the real essence of the question is that everybody's thinking, is this some sexual type shit? Like, is this some kind of attraction? Does this have something to do with the idea that they may want to get it in? And I don't think so. If he wanted to be fucking that man, he'll be doing that shit outside of the night that his friend coming to sleep over. It sounds like a one-off isolated time where he came over to sleep. So I'm not even looking at it as a sexual component.
Why would you need to sleep in the bed? Like, so normally what happens when somebody's in a relationship and they have a friend come over is that friend sleeps on the couch and then you and your significant other sleep in the bed. Now, y'all may stay up half the night in the living room talking and shit, but never have I experienced or seen a situation in which it's like, no, it's going to be us in the room and you on the couch. That's
and
weird.
I think that's the part that's most throwing me off, because ideally, me and my homeboy would be on the couch and my lady would go to the bed when she got ready to go to sleep. Yeah. And if I was going to crash with my homeboy all night and we were going to talk, then we'll just do that in the living room. I don't know why it has to be in the bedroom. And that's another question. Like, what do they space look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, they space might not accommodate a comfortable living room talking situation. But I'm putting money on him just being like a childish grown man who is trying to relive out how they sleepovers used to be when he was little, and he is costing him what in this moment his respect for you and his consideration of you. And so I think this is one of those moments where you need to challenge him. He said he gonna be very mad if she don't let you have it. It's some moments in your relationships then where you just gonna have to be very mad if you got a person like that, and y'all just gonna have to recover from that shit. But you can't be held hostage by the idea that you're damn very mad if you don't let him do something that you don't think he should do. I mean, it's already clear in this relationship that he's painted this image of you as dramatic that you've adopted, and so you're trying to modify and change your behavior to not look dramatic, but that's at the cost of accepting some shit that you know ain't right, because if you thought it was right, you wouldn't have wrote a letter to somebody asking, is this shit normal? So I don't think you should let it go. If this is the only moment that this happened and it's cool, then I would press him on why that was so important. More so, I would try to get an answer before you tell me why. Before I say yes, that's cool, I need a full-blown understanding of why you need to have him sleep in the bed and me on the couch.
He told her because they used to have sleepovers as children.
That's
and
not
stay up and talk all night.
That's not good enough. They can do that shit on the couch. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody in America knows what the bedroom is for when it comes to two people. You know, so you're not doing a good job at convincing me that this is not some secret sexual thing that y'all are trying to get into. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do understand.
I know you said so because this is how my mind works. I know you said it would be odd for him to even tell her to sleep on the couch if he was trying to have some sexual stuff go on, but that could be an indirect way of getting her to be like, well, I'm not staying. If I got to sleep on the couch, I'm gonna go home. And he gets out of having to ask her just not to fucking come over by asking her to do something that's fucking ridiculous.
Listen, I just think there are too many ways for him to fuck that man if he wanted to do that. If that's what he wanted to do, like, they could have met anywhere. They could have like, babe, we're going out to the bar. I mean, that he could have done anything to get with his guy and have sex. It would take a certain level of boldness to invite this man to your house with your woman there who thinks you completely straight, sit her in the living room, and then fuck that man in the bedroom. It takes a level of boldness and stupidity. And she would have heard something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, unless they just wanted to suck each other's meat silently, I don't, it just don't make sense that it was really sexual. So I'm just processing it from a maladaptive, abnormal, non-sexual perspective. And I just think that she probably got a childish grown man that she need to learn to be more assertive with, and don't let herself become or feel invalidated by his ideas of what dramatic looks like. Because, I mean, dramatic is just being perceived as dramatic is just based on somebody's threshold of understanding drama. You might not be dramatic at all. You might be appropriately responding to stuff, and he's calling you dramatic because he's a person that's never liked confrontation and that never liked being in front of shit. So he used words to make you feel uncomfortable about doing it, and you've adopted it. And you should not adopt that. You should challenge this man on all of his shit. He is in a relationship now. If you are in a relationship and you are not comfortable with challenging your mate, or your mate is not be comfortable with being challenged, then y'all need to work your ways towards being okay with being challenging, because that is a part of a relationship. And at some point in the relationship with that person, y'all are going to need to challenge each other. That's healthy communication. Yep. And so the essence of this is, no, it's not normal. If this is not a recurring thing, then probably not be concerned about it. But the next time this comes up, you need to be more assertive. You need to tell him what you want, and you need to let him know that if you want to spend all night with your homeboy, you don't do that shit in the living room, because this is our fucking bed, not your bed, for you to make whatever decisions that you want. The petty side of me say, invite one of your girlfriends over and be like, I'm gonna sleep in the bed with her. Take your motherfucking ass to the living room. But that ain't really healthy. That's passive aggression. So confront him, be assertive, let him know what you want, let him know what the fuck ain't finna happen, and then go about it that way. You're not dramatic. Well, you could be dramatic, but we'll assume you're not dramatic. You need to be assertive with this man, and he gonna have to accept your dramatic ass if you are.
I wish
he chose you.
Nigga would come and say, hey, me and my friend gonna sleep in the bed and you gonna be on the couch. What? Like, I feel like these kind of things wouldn't happen to me. And I might be wrong, and I might be coming on the show one day and be like, y'all ain't gonna believe what the fuck this nigga said. But like, so far in life, no. Because what the fuck? Like, you're joking, right? Like, you're not serious. Because if you're serious, we got a goddamn problem.
We got a goddamn whole problem.
Got a whole ass problem. But Yeah, thank you, Miss Buns. That shit was hilarious. Like I said, as soon as I saw that title, I was like, what the fuck? If you gotta
Listen,
ask if it's weird, it's probably funny.
look, and don't let your partner sleep in the bed alone with somebody else if you don't want that shit to happen. Okay? Base that on what you want. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call boundaries.
Yep.
Boundaries are limits that you have for yourself that you're not willing to cross the threshold over. It don't have nothing to do with the other person unless they cross your boundaries. And if a boundary is this fucking bed is mine and you don't want somebody else sleeping in the bed with your partner, then even if it's innocent, then tell them no. No. Go spend all night with this motherfucker on the goddamn living room floor. But not the bed.
It's
You
fucking
know, so
weird.
um so that's what I got for that one.
All right, what did Colin send us?
So we got letters from Colin, but we also got something from Kat.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and Kat come by the way of a Facebook post
Okay.
that we gonna talk about.
Okay. Am I gonna get upset?
No.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe.
Mm.
Depending on your past.
Oh, Jesus.
Name some mental health red flags that people fall in love with while dating. And we're just gonna go down the comments and see what people talking about.
Okay.
It's a lot of comments, so you know when they start to give up on it.
Okay.
Um, first comment. Swept off of feet immediately and being love bombed.
Mm,
Do you
maybe.
think that's a mental health red flag?
I don't think it's a mental health. I mean, there are some people that are, I don't want to say look more lovey, but you know, you have people that, what are the love languages are different, and I wouldn't say love bomb means they got a mental health. Heavy. That's some heavy terminology to lay on somebody. So no, I don't think I agree with that one.
I think it's possible. I think that the essence of this comment to me is that a person falls in love with the representative so fast and so hard that they
Yeah.
don't give an opportunity to regulate. And I think sometimes the gap between who that representative is and who the person is after they regulate is so big
Yeah.
that they done fucked up because they head over fucking heels now with somebody that they wouldn't choose if they knew who that was from the very beginning.
Yes.
And so I think that scenario is yes, that is a mental health red flag, but not always. Like
Yeah.
Red said, sometimes it's just somebody who is very passionate and affectionate, and that's just how they love. Just make sure they keep that fucking shit up.
Yeah.
All right. Oversharing / no boundaries in conversation.
Yeah. I would say yes to that. And I've had that happen. First of all, let me just say, if you're a mental health professional, what I found in dating, I don't know if you found this on point, but like when you tell people what you do, it's like they feel so much more comfortable telling you shit. And it's like, I didn't need to know that.
I don't know. It can go either way. Either you say I'm a mental health counselor and they be like, "Oh, you analyzing me," and then they start really being
Clamming
specific
up.
about what they actually tell you,
Yeah.
or they be comfortable as fuck with telling you. But I think that's a testament to the kind of person that is. The extrovert versus the introvert, the
Yeah.
oversharer versus the person who is really reserved. I think that's based on the person.
And I guess that depends on what are they oversharing about, right? Like my little antenna always goes up if I'm on a date with somebody on the first date and they're talking about how their last relationship ended. Like like nobody even asked you for. Like, so I feel like what are they oversharing about? Because some things are gonna be red flags and some things may just be they just like talking.
Well, I guess so. The question is, what mental health red flags do people fall in love with? I would think that the oversharing and no boundaries in conversation means that somebody will fall in love with that who is a little bit over possessive and like the girlfriend that would be wanting to check your phone and stuff. I feel like knowing everything about everything that she can know about or he can know about would be ideal for them. So I
Yeah.
think they end up liking a person who overshares like that.
Or maybe somebody, I mean, again, it goes with personality. You have people who romanticize every little thing. And so somebody may look at it and be like, oh, he's comfortable with me and he trusts me. You know, we got this vibe and he just felt so comfortable in telling me this about himself.
Oh yeah.
So,
Translating all that communication into trust
yes.
when they really just don't have a filter or a boundary on how to stop telling about their life.
And it has nothing to do with you specifically, but they take it as, oh, we have such a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking jealousy is sweet or cute.
Whoo, Jesus.
That's a big one.
It's a huge one. And a lot of, I can't even say it's a, I've had teenagers in session who've been talking about, their relationship. And I'm like, that's not sweet. That sound controlling than a motherfucker. Like, um, that one is huge. People take that as, oh, he really cares, and he just, he's jealous, and he just doesn't want anybody else to steal me from him. And it's like, no, he or she, because women can do this too. May just be really, really controlling. And so, yeah, that's definitely a red flag.
And I get my theory behind that. The existence of that idea is that when you treat a person like a possession, you start to treat them like one. And I think that like if you think about a family heirloom, how close you're expected to hold this possession that has value. I
Mm-hmm.
think that people start treating people like that when you see them as a possession, when you see them as mine. Like that's the concept of ownership, especially in monogamy. As y'all know, I'm non-monogamous, but monogamy has this component of you belong to me, and we got to figure out how to make sure we belong to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad thing in its healthy forms, but like when it's unhealthy, like ownership being like, oh, when you're jealous of me, that means that you value me a lot. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't want me
That's
to hang out with anybody else. He just wants to spend all his
he
time.
just
No.
wants me for himself.
Yeah.
That's unhealthy versions
Isolating
of that shit.
behaviors. Yeah.
Yeah,
All of that shit could lead to the ugly place that you don't want to be.
not at all. You're the only person in my life that I can trust. And have started seeing the I don't really have friends thing as a massive red flags in friendships too.
So yeah. Because here's the thing. Um, I don't think that you have to have a large circle of friends. Actually, I think it's probably better just to have that small, close-knit group. But when you don't have no friends and no connections, it doesn't seem, with anybody outside of this dating relationship that you have with me, that's concerning to me. Because it isn't even about the number of friends, but you don't have no friends.
Mm.
Like, that's concerning. Um, because again, I mean, I have my little group, which mostly is my close friends are the podcast group that we have, and because we, all of them are people that I know I can call if I need some shit or some shit go left, they gonna come. And it's not a large group of us. You know what I'm saying? It's not a ton of us, but I have friends. And so that's concerning to me when people don't have good relationships with any of their, don't have any close friendships. That's concerning. There's a reason for that.
Very much so. You're the only person in my life that I can trust. I
Mhm.
mean, if everybody else that they have trusted before are no longer trustworthy, then what is the criteria by which they don't trust you at some point?
Yeah,
Like, what have those people done to impact that trust, and what can you do to impact it? It sounds like that person has a really low threshold for allowing people to be trusted in their life. And generally, I don't like this whole "don't trust nobody" shit. Like you'll see NBA YoungBoy and other rappers tweet "don't trust nobody" shit, and I understand it from their life experience, but I don't think the answer to that is not trust anybody. I think the answer is to create a more significant filter for trust in yourself so that you learn better who to trust and who not to trust.
yeah,
You know, just saying I don't trust nobody after somebody breaks your trust is just casting a wide net on a thing that you really just need to learn how to do better
yeah.
instead of getting rid of that whole fucking system all at once.
Yeah. Just be a better judge of people. Like you got to look at what did I miss?
Yeah. Um, the next one, mixed signals disguised as mysterious or spiritedness. And I've seen that shit.
Yeah.
I've seen that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, because have you met people that's free spirited? I think it's more free spirited women than men,
Yeah. I was
so
gonna say
I don't
no.
know how much you've seen that,
Not
but
really.
like free spirited women like are just a different experience, um but I've seen where them not wanting to be in a relationship with a person has been masked over in saying stuff like, um I don't want to be tied down, or I just want to be
Oh
free, or I
yeah.
just want to explore myself right now. Like, guess be clear about what your intentions are.
Yeah.
you know,
No, niggas do that too. They do.
they mask it in other bullshit though. Like
Yeah, they do.
niggas really just they drag your ass down the street by a rope. And be like, you'll be up here with me soon. Like they just bullshitting you the whole time is going on that they trying to figure it out, or they be like, I ain't ready yet. I've been drugged down like that though. Like
Oh
this
my lord.
this girl, I don't want to be in a relationship to me into a whole ass relationship.
Oh my god. How do they do that? It's amazing. It's like a magic trick.
Bruh, she did that shit. I was like, I was offering her shit. Like she had rides to work and a place to
Yeah.
go when she was tired of being on campus on her side of the city.
Yeah.
And so like she was like, look, I ain't finna give this shit up.
Yep.
And then she posted a status on Facebook about somebody that wasn't me. And I text her and she was like, oh, that's nothing. And I'm like, I'm younger and I'm younger and optimistic. I mean, I wasn't stupid when I was young, but I was optimistic. I
Yeah.
mean, her because I had determined that she was a trustworthy person until I found out that it wasn't. And again, I didn't say I don't want to trust nobody now. I said she's not trustworthy, and there was a whole bunch of red flags that I have
Yep.
to look out now for in the future to determine that a person that has those kind of red flags is not a trustworthy person.
Yep.
So she did that shit, boy. I was like, okay, yep. But I'm optimistic. So what I saw is like, one, she fucked up because I'm the fucking prize. Number two, if somebody exposes something about themselves that is not a desirable quality that you didn't know about, then they just exposed themselves as somebody that you don't want to be with anyway.
Yep.
Like, even if she would change her mind after that and be like, I'll be with you, why would I want to be with her at that point?
Like
It
really.
wouldn't make sense. You um this person said fake vulnerability. They put faux vulnerability, but fake
um,
vulnerability. I don't really know what that look like.
yeah, I mean, because you're not gonna know. I don't know. I would.
Okay, so under the comment it says somebody asked to explain an example of this and the pathology behind it. And she said it's the tactic R. Kelly used to hook his wife, told her about his inability to read, and asked her to teach him. His fake vulnerability made her feel special and valued. Okay, I mean, I guess I could see
Yeah.
that's an extreme version,
Yeah, and that's not
but
for
R.
me. That's
Kelly
not a
really couldn't
red.
read though.
Well, and I don't know that you could call it a red flag because with that one, you're not gonna know it was fake until it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not something that you can see and be like, oh, it's not the same as somebody being overly possessive where you can see that as a red flag of like, oh, let me do something different or this isn't good. You're not gonna know that that person isn't actually being vulnerable with you until you catch them in the lie.
And I
So like I
think
don't
this
know
is
how you could look at it and it be a red flag and a warning to you.
and I think this is answering a different question, really. I think this is answering the question, what kind of bullshit do people use to lure people into relationships?
Yeah.
More
Yes.
so than answering the question that,
About a
was
red flag.
posed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Um,
gonna know until later about a fake
yeah.
vulnerability because it seems real and genuine in the beginning.
Yeah. And in her example, that shit was real because R. Kelly ain't never
He
read a
could read.
contract. He can read. Um,
Jesus, R. Kelly's an extreme. That's an extreme example.
I'm reading down some of them just to see because some of them answering the different questions.
Okay, and I can't see.
A controlling individual presenting as a protector.
Yeah. Yep. That is. And again, it's like there's a difference between being concerned about somebody and trying to control their behavior and everything that they do. And I think that you kind of have to know the difference between that. You know, I don't know. I was gonna use a movie example, but I won't.
Okay. And I mean, you know, that's one of them things that men do, I guess, because the protector is almost exclusively a man's role, and
Yeah.
so there are a lot of men who say, "I will protect you," and it's like holding you behind him. It's like imagine somebody standing with a gun and you holding them behind you, except they not doing it under duress. They're just holding a person behind them because that theoretical protector role means that I make all the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I control our home. You
Mm-hmm.
can't go here, you can't go there. That's not really a protector. That's like a fucking overlord of the relationship.
And those kind of look for damsels in distress. So they're gonna look for a woman who's seeking out that because they may not have had it in their formative years.
Yeah.
They know how to pick them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would never date me.
Thinking their partner wanting to know where they are 24/7 is sweet and caring.
That's back to the controlling.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a very specific one. Like I said, if you're talking about question, you find young kids, teenagers that are in relationships think that a person wanting to know their every move and making them turn on their location and stuff.
That
It's like
location
endearing
shit
somehow.
is the worst shit. Yes. Stalking you on your social media and saying, well, you told me you were asleep, but at 9:47, you posted a status. Like, that's not sweet. That's concerning.
If you can't be okay with somebody being somewhere that you don't know where they at, then you got a problem.
That's a problem.
You gotta be okay with your partner being able to have their own autonomy, individual autonomy in their relationship. Now that don't mean that they at the end of the day what you do today and they be like it's none of your business.
Yeah.
It's more so like you should not have this desire before they do anything to want to know what they finna do, and when they're doing something to have to know what they're doing and where they at.
If you're incessantly checking the location of your significant other, that's problematic. Like, if you constantly like checking to make sure that's an issue.
Yeah. Um.
Their location shit is trash. What its intended use is good, but what it's used for is trash.
Yeah. So we'll stop it right there. I mean, there's a whole bunch more of them, but like this was a good thread. Maybe we can come back to it in the future and go through some more.
Yeah.
Um, but we got a lot of stuff to do, so
Yeah.
let's
Thanks,
keep
Kat.
going on that one. Appreciate you, Kat.
What did
Uh,
Colin have to say?
what did Colin say? Colin got
Oh,
several posts.
so I think it's Michael's wife followed me on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's Julian Black, so that I was like,
Yeah.
she must be connected to Michael.
So, matter of fact, he did send us something on. He sent us something on Facebook.
Michael?
Yeah.
I
Now that you mentioned his name,
there.
yeah. Hold on, let me go find out what it was.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of cool.
I know. Oh, what's that?
I was just gonna say it's cool that she
Bruh,
must listen to the show in order for her to have found me.
Facebook done changed all this shit, and
They
I'm like,
I
where
can't
the
find my
hell?
notes anymore. I'm so mad. They
Where the
always
hell are my pages that I fucking control? Oh my god, I gotta search it. Gotta searching this shit.
they keep fucking up. Like these updates are garbage.
Um, Messages. Oh my god.
It's garbage, man.
Okay, he basically sent the best wishes he could for Trump before the
Oh,
election. It was the day before the
oh,
election. He sent us the
thank
best
you,
wishes he could
Michael.
before the election, and
Your good vibes helped.
I feel like your vibes specifically
Yes,
are what turned the whole ties to this whole thing.
yes.
It's like the butterfly fly effect. You know, a butterfly flapping his wings over in England may be causing a tornado over in England. I mean, over in India.
Yeah,
So your wishes move some shit.
thank you, because that.
Appreciate you for that.
Whew, Jesus. Okay.
Fucking Facebook.
Fucking Facebook. I can't find my notes. Like one day I could find them, and then the next day I fucking couldn't. They're gone. I don't know where they are, how to access them. Stupid. Because where they were is not there anymore.
Okay, so Thanksgiving Reddit post. Am I the asshole?
Oh my God.
Would I be the asshole if I didn't make my entire Thanksgiving dinner kosher, parv, dairy-free, and gluten-free just to accommodate one person?
Damn.
Last Thanksgiving, my fiance's brother brought his girlfriend Sarah over for dinner. I was informed beforehand that Sarah was Jewish and only ate kosher, so I made sure not to use any pork products and double checked that all my ingredients were kosher and parv. She picked at the food and didn't eat any of it for reasons I don't know. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm an exceptional cook and the food was delicious and everyone cleaned their plate and got seconds. So I have no idea why Sarah wouldn't eat my food. Back in the summer, they came to visit us. We have a huge yard with a pool, so we stayed outside and grilled and enjoyed the sunshine. I made grilled chicken kebabs, Angus beef burgers, Italian style pasta salad, and a strawberry cake. Again, I made sure everything was kosher and parv and I used no pork products. Sarah didn't eat anything, saying that she was also not eating dairy or gluten by choice, not due to allergies. I offered her a chicken kebab or a burger with the bun and she said no. She literally stared at us while we ate. It was very awkward. My fiance and I are having Thanksgiving dinner at our house again this year. I've had enough of catering to Sarah's dietary needs. I'll make a salad and a side of grilled chicken for her, but everything else in my spread will be full of gluten and dairy. My fiance agrees that we've been more than accommodating in the past and we shouldn't have to change how we eat and celebrate our holidays for one person. His brother and mother think that's harsh and it would be wrong to eat things like cheesy potatoes and cake in front of Sarah, knowing she won't eat that. If I said if Sarah wanted to, she could bring a dish that she's able to eat, and I would gladly heat it up for her. But I wouldn't be going out of my way to purchase ingredients that I otherwise wouldn't use in my home, or make anything more than a salad and grilled chicken for her. I also know for a fact that Sarah enjoys to go out to eat a few times a week, so I know it's not a fear of cross contamination of foods or not having a kosher kitchen. Even still, I worry if I don't make my entire meal kosher, parv, dairy free, and gluten free, and only give her a salad that she'll think I'm an asshole.
Fuck Sarah. Sarah is on some bullshit. Okay. Now listen. All right. Catered to her being kosher, and she basically spit that shit in your face by not eating the food. Because then she want to add all this other shit that she don't do, that she's not doing by choice, not by out of necessity. You know how hard it is to make a fucking meal gluten free. Gluten is in everything. Okay. And Sarah's being an asshole. So no, I don't think you would be being an asshole. You're still gonna provide an option for her. And she probably ain't gonna eat that shit anyway, because as of yet, it don't sound like she didn't ate shit at your house before. So catering to that shit, no. No ma'am. Nope. I don't think you would be an asshole. I think Sarah's an asshole.
I don't know why you ever gave a fuck about creating a whole meal based off of Sarah. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck if she put a goddamn sleeping mask over her eyes while we eat. Goddamn, I don't give a fuck. I wish my parents would tell me, "Oh, I think Sarah wouldn't want to see us eating pork." What the fuck? Why the fuck that my problem? Motherfucker can't be goddamn not eating pork in a pork ass eating world and not wanting to see that shit. You either need to cut your eyes out or get used to seeing motherfuckers eat pork. But see, these questions be indicating how fucked up families be on this shit.
Yeah.
Like one whole ass girlfriend in a
even
whole
a
family.
Family member. She's not a family member. This a fucking girlfriend. And things like this make me appreciate Cole Jackson. Cole Jackson, and he's gonna fucking kill me. I can never remember which one he is. Is he vegan or vegetarian? He's vegetarian. Okay. Cole Jackson is vegetarian. We have get-togethers, and at no point has he behaved the way that Sarah has behaved. All of us try to be accommodating. We provide some kind of vegetarian, okay food. And he'll bring his own shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But like at no point is he like, I can't believe you guys are eating it, or just staring at us. Like, and he never does that. He never fucking does that. He don't even mention that shit. Like, we mention it. Like when we planning something, we mention it, and we're like, oh, we got to get something for Cole. But he never mentions the shit. Like, so when I see people like Sarah, it just makes me appreciate him so much more.
Well, to be fair, Sarah never requested this. You know, Sarah never asked this family to change their whole cooking shit.
Acting like a bitch. And
Yeah,
that ain't her want to change it because she was making them feel uncomfortable. If somebody just staring at you with a weird face while you trying to eat, she's trying to avoid that awkwardness again.
the problem is her fiance's brother, right? Yeah. And then the problem is the family that they're engulfed in that will accommodate this girlfriend. And there's families like that. Like there are families that change all of their shit to make a new person to the family feel comfortable with the family. And I think that's like a family trauma type thing, man. I don't think, man, clearly your family is on the opposite end. Your family roast everybody and will roast that motherfucker when they get there. That's the opposite end of that shit. It's like, we gonna try to make you want to leave, and if you stay, we'll accept you. But some families be like, we gonna try to make you stay, and we'll do everything we can to get you to stay. Your family ain't that.
No, we roast the fuck. Because here's the thing, we don't want you to feel left out because we roast each other. And so I feel like it's more awkward for us to ignore you and just be like, so, you know, we include people.
Do you have a worst Thanksgiving story?
Yes, I do.
What's your worst Thanksgiving?
So my cousin likes to bring random bitches to Thanksgiving.
When he brought the white girl?
The white girl.
Okay.
Well, that one, and when I had to stop my mama for jumping on a police officer.
What the fuck?
Look, my cousin
gotta be the one. What the hell?
Listen.
Your mama was finna jump on a police officer.
My cousin was dating him. Does that make it better?
Okay. He was a dickhead. That do make it better because I was thinking
not a random
ass Black Lives Matter out here, goddamn.
No, it was my cousin was dating this police officer that we all hated. Okay, but even when we hate something, we ain't gonna be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and this is how you know we didn't like him. When nobody roasted him, we just fucking ignored him because we was over it. By this point in their relationship, everybody was fucking over it. So we just kind of ignored him. And we go to Tennessee for Thanksgiving all the time. And we were coming back from Tennessee and we stopped at some mall in Tennessee. I don't even remember which one, but him and my cousin had got into it and she was upset. My cousin's dramatic, okay? And you met Crystal. She's dramatic. I love her, but she's dramatic. So she got out of the van. We had rented a van for all of us to go up there and like went in the mall and she was upset. And he just sat there and get her. While he had a whole ass attitude driving the van all crazy. So I'm sitting in the back with my mom and she stood up and I was like, what you doing? And she was like, I'm tired of this shit. And I was like, Mom, you can't. Like, what you finna go up there and do? Sit down. And she was like, no, I'm tired of this. He been acting like this whole trip. Ain't nobody said nothing. And I'm tired. And I was like, Mom, okay, but this ain't your place. Like, that's her boyfriend. If Aunt Brenda don't want to say something, fine. But you need to sit down. She really was finna go up here. And verbally assault this man. She was pissed. And he was just, oh my God. You know, Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh?
Mm-hmm.
That was my nickname for him because that is about how much fucking personality he had. We was so tired of him. He had like fucked that whole trip up for us, just being the gloom and doom, like Eeyore, the whole goddamn time. We was over it. I did finally get my mom to sit the fuck down and not go up there, but she was ready. She was like, I'm sick of this. We've been dealing with it all day and I'm tired. No. So usually it's like, I haven't had a bad Thanksgiving where it was people actually in my family. It's always been boyfriends and girlfriends because it was my cousin's little white girlfriend or whatever she the fuck was to him, who was very obviously a recovering addict. It was like a whole situation with her. But it don't never be nobody in the family. It just be who the fuck people they bring to Thanksgiving. The same way Sarah about trying to fuck up shit.
So my worst Thanksgiving was like, so my mom is a very religious woman,
Mm-hmm.
devoutly so, and my mom hears God talking to her all the time, telling her all kind of shit. And my mama said, God told me not to eat your aunt's food. And I'm like, Mama, he write this down? Was the email is like, do you have any concrete evidence that God got a problem with this? Like, I be like, Mama, just own your shit. Tell me that you don't want to eat her goddamn nasty ass food. Tell me that. That make me feel better. And sometimes it feels like Mama used God as a scapegoat for shit that she don't want to uncomfortably confront. But I don't believe my mama's a liar. So if she gonna say that it's God, I'm gonna believe that it's God. Maybe she just don't understand or know other ways to confront it, but that's what it be. And so I was like, you know what, Mama? I'll come there and I'm gonna cook Thanksgiving for everybody. Ain't nobody else gonna touch no damn food. I'm gonna cook every fucking thing. And she was like, okay. And so I'm like, okay. So I started cooking. And so the second year that I cooked, and this was after my grandma died too. So it's like everybody was trying to deal with some shit. And so we were there eating, and my granddaddy was there. He's just an 84-year-old nigga that just want a fucking Dr. Pepper. Because my aunt, who live with him now, won't let him drink sodas. He been drinking sodas his whole fucking life. My grandmama had Sprites all the time, for him because he fucking love him. And she won't let him drink that shit now. So my granddaddy was drinking Dr. Peppers all night long, and my brother asked him, hey, granddaddy, how's the Dr. Pepper? Good. All right, cool. Well, his old body ain't ready for that shit no more. So what happened was my granddaddy he went to the kitchen. We was in the dining room. He went to the kitchen and sat at the chair that he used to sit in. And my aunt looked in there and said, hey, daddy never sit in that chair. I wonder why he in there now. And just didn't think that it was something wrong and just just kept up. And he had an ice cream cone. And my brother turned around and looked at him and he was trying to sit the ice cream cone on the table. And my brother was the only one that had enough sense to be like, I'm gonna go in here and watch granddaddy. And so he got up and went in the kitchen, and my granddaddy kind of eyes rolled back in his head, and he fell back, and he just started throwing up and throwing up, and it looked like he was having a seizure. But really his body was just getting rid of all this Dr. Pepper that he ain't got no business fucking drinking. And so we called an ambulance. And this moment showed me that my family is utterly useless in an emergency situation. Apparently, me and my brother are the only effective motherfuckers. At the end of all of that, my uncle said, "I want Eddie and JD to be around me when I get ready to go, because my cousin and my aunt disappeared because they thought granddaddy was fucking dying. I don't know what the fuck my mama went. Uncle Terry was just froze, shaking and shit, and I'm like, what the hell wrong with all of y'all?" JD was like, call the police. And I looked around and seen everybody fucking dispersed in the places that wasn't helpful. And I was like, I'm gonna go call the police. So I called the police and said, hey, we got an emergency at this address, blah, blah, blah. But after my granddaddy got rid of that, shit, and he was just sitting there, just picked up his ice cream, eating. The police, the emergency people got there, and they was like, what year is it? And he was like 2017 or whatever year it was. They asked him who's the president. He said, no, it had to be before 2017 because the president answer was Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. So it was when Obama was the president. And they was like, where are you right now? He was like, in my kitchen. And that was it. And that was like, it was the worst Thanksgiving because it was potentially the worst Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't bad, but that's the Thanksgiving I remember of all the Thanksgivings in my life where we thought granddad was going to kick the fucking bucket in front of us on a holiday. So that's what I hate. I hate when people have a trauma that happened on a special day.
Oh, yeah.
And so now you can never celebrate, like motherfuckers who mamas died on Mother's Day and shit.
My mom's mom died the day before. No, the funeral was the day after her birthday or the day before her birthday. And I was like, why y'all, we can't push that shit. Like, don't put that so close to her fucking birthday. Now every year on her birthday, she gonna be sad about her mom. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Nobody listen though, so whatever.
Fuck them.
But yeah,
Um,
fuck Sarah. Fuck Sarah's
what's your favorite? You got favorite Thanksgiving foods?
dressing, yams, dressing and yams. Cause I can get everything else the rest of the year, but like dressing and yams around Thanksgiving is when. I mean, I can cook it any time during the year, but I'm just saying.
I went to a food
Abundance.
truck. I went to a food truck that had some damn sweet potatoes and dressing, and I got some of the dressing, and it reinforced how delicious my dressing is. That nigga dressing was not great. Everything else he do is good. That dressing was not good, but his sweet potatoes, I don't even like sweet potatoes like that. But whatever the fuck he did to them sweet potatoes, god damn.
I eat sweet potatoes like a crazy person. I love sweet potatoes
He
by
said
themselves.
he said he cut them up into quarters and then he bake them
Hmm.
and then he saute them and toss them in the butter sugar mix.
My mom does that.
Man, that shit was good. Like I'm
I like
thinking
that.
about doing that shit this year instead of my sweet potato souffle. But I fuck with my sweet potato souffle though, so
Yeah, my mom. That's how my mom does it.
shit be so good.
Hmm.
I didn't like them motherfuckers. But yeah, I like dressing. I've been making my own cranberry sauce for the last 3 years, which is very easy.
I don't do cranberry sauce.
Ah man, I do cranberry sauce. I just you boil the cranberries with a little bit of water. I put some orange liqueur in them this time, kind of like to cut a little bit of the bitterness,
Hmm.
because it gives you that orange flavor, but it also cooks out the alcohol in it, and they jelly up real nicely with your own flavors, your own amount of sweetness. I mean, don't get me wrong, that jellied cranberry sauce is a staple. I still buy some of that, but I use my own. That should be so good. And I got a dude out here that smoke turkeys.
Mm.
But I don't know if I want to smoke turkey this year, man. He also smoked ribs and butts at the same time. I think I'm gonna get a smoked pork butt from him.
Our Thanksgiving's been canceled this year because of fucking COVID. Like
Mine too.
we normally go to Huntsville, but my aunt sent us all a mass text message was like, not this year. And they have health problems, so I get why they don't want a bunch of motherfuckers in their house and
And
risk
I was
catching
gonna
COVID.
fly to North Carolina with my to be with my dad and my grandma. I just don't want to drive 7 hours. I do not like driving. I will
Mhm.
have to stop several times and fall asleep. So I was gonna fly, and then the numbers are going up, and so I was like, I don't want to give y'all no risk, so I ain't gonna go
Yeah.
up there. So I've been doing Friendsgiving for the last few years, so I'm gonna do Friendsgiving. If you're in Birmingham, if you're listening and you in Birmingham, hit me up if you want to come and get a plate. You want to see what deliciousness is about, because I'll give you a plate. You don't even have to come stop and exchange pleasantries. Just tell me what you want on your plate. I'll fix it for you. Come pick it up and leave. I'm okay with that arrangement. I don't have to have that uncomfortable sit down and talk, about random shit just because you getting something from somebody and you feel like it's your duty to, at least pretend like you want to be having a conversation, even
Yeah.
though I'm a pleasant motherfucker to talk with. You don't have to. It's your choice.
Yeah.
um, but yeah.
Was
So
that it for his? Did he have another one?
he got 2 more letters that he
Two
sent.
more.
We can do. Yeah, we probably ain't gonna do no news today. It ain't really shit happening
Okay.
in the news outside of real bullshit that we don't want to come.
Mm.
So, let's choose between these two and maybe do another one next week. You choose. Am
Okay.
I the asshole for firing our nanny after I heard her body shaming me, or am I the asshole for calling my white girlfriend a mayo mama?
Oh, both of those. Let's go with Mayo Mama because it's
All
more.
right. Am I the asshole for calling my white girlfriend a mayo mama? Okay, so this sounds ridiculous, but bear with me. I, a 28-year-old male, am African American. My girlfriend, we'll call her Susie. A 26-year-old female is white, and obviously so is her family. They're pretty chill, and we've never had a problem and live in a fairly liberal part of the country. Now, a while back, we were fooling around making fun of each other, and I called her a mayo mama. It was kind of an instant regret thing, but she found it hilarious, and now it's my pet name for her. Anyway, we had to drop some stuff off for her mom the other day because she doesn't like leaving the house too much at the moment because of you know what. So we were talking for a little while and the pet name slipped out. I never said it in front of anyone before because I understand people might find it odd And boy, her parents did not like it. They started saying I was being racist and clearly have double standards. Susie tried to tell them to be quiet, and she said that she liked the nickname, and if she doesn't feel offended by it, then they shouldn't speak for her. But they persisted, and her dad came out with one of the funniest things I've heard someone say to me in the most sincere way possible. How would you feel if she called you her chocolate daddy? I started laughing, and Susie tried to hide her face, but she looked like she was about to cry from hysterics. I told him I wouldn't really care if it wasn't coming from a place of malice, and we decided to get the fuck out as soon as possible. Anyway, now Susie has been receiving messages from her parents saying they still think it was racist and disrespectful, and I should apologize and drop the nickname. But she is sticking to her guns that it's no one's business, and she even started calling me Chocolate Daddy. And honestly, I can't stop myself from laughing whenever she says it, but still, I feel a bit bad for causing an argument with her parents and causing her to be getting hounded by angry messages. Am I the asshole?
You're not an asshole. I think you just made a slip up. I mean, if that nickname is between the two of you and she's okay with it, then it's fine. I mean, but I can also see it from a parent point of view, because I'm sure that if I was dating a white man and brought him home and we had this funny nickname between us and he said that shit in front of my parents, they gonna lose their fucking shit. If it was something like whatever, I don't know, chocolate mama or whatever, they would have an issue with that, even though it's like between us. It's the same kind of, I feel the same kind of way about that as I do white people that say nigga around their friends. Like, make sure it's around your friends, because other black people ain't gonna be like, oh, your friends are okay with it, we cool with it type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's an asshole. I think he made a slip up. He made a mistake that's an unfortunate one, and it's going to be hard to come back from. But I don't think he's an asshole. It wasn't done with malice. He wasn't like going to go fuck your shit up with your family. He just made a mistake. But I get why they're upset also. I mean, from a parent's point of view, that's...
Get out of their goddamn relationship. Hell, you are not the asshole, man.
Nah.
It is what it is.
Made a mistake.
How would you feel if she called you her chocolate daddy?
She probably do that shit already.
Probably do.
That
like,
shit's hilarious.
He done thought about that shit before too. Like, Mayo Mama Chocolate Daddy. I guess not. But you know, the reality is, I don't know, maybe she like mayo. Goddamn. Like, it's his assumption that she meaning her skin color when he say mayo. I mean, he could call her pastel mama or her goddamn eggshell mama or whatever kind of other words.
Those things wouldn't be. It's because, I mean, you know why they're upset about it, though, because they think it's to do with her skin tone. Because he wouldn't call a black person that really likes mayo mama, probably. Like, that shit probably wouldn't happen.
I mean, would they be better? Would they be more okay if he called her Big Booty Susie? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just the racial component, or would they have been upset with any representation of you having some connection with our daughter?
No, I think it's the racist part. But, I mean, again, if this is something that she's okay, both of them are laughing about it. This does not sound like she's in an abusive situation. Doesn't look like she's in an abusive situation. So, I mean, I can see them being uncomfortable with it and being like, that's weird, but not like all out, like, break up with him, he's a racist. Like, if everything that you know about him up until that moment does not dictate that it has some issue, with y'all being white, then this is probably just a stupid joke between the two of them that y'all don't get.
Black people can't be racist anyway.
Well, let's not get into that, though.
As evidenced, if the parents called the police on him for calling their daughter Mayo Mama, he would likely get in big ass trouble versus if he called the police and said, "Hey, they call me Chocolate Daddy." You know what I'm saying? Like, that is like,
oh, Jesus.
Just a black person don't have the power to do anything about it. Like, if they wanted to call and be like, "Hey, this black man just slapped our daughter. We live in a white neighborhood." You know what I'm saying? Like, they could really, they have the power to make their racism work for them. He don't have the power to do that. There's nothing he can call the police to say about a white family that did something that the police will get there and take that shit serious. Nothing. At all. Is there something you can think of that he could call the police in the middle of a white family and say that the police will come and go hard on the white family?
No.
Nothing. White people can do that. Like, so he don't have the power in this situation to be racist. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can call this shit prejudice. Maybe you could just call it unappealing, but it ain't racist.
Yeah.
Bitches.
I can't see you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, at least it ain't froze on an ugly face.
True. Sometimes it'd be weird.
Yeah.
So you want to save his other one for next week?
Yeah, we'll say the other one for next week. You said you got a lot of shit.
I have a lot of them, and I have so many I'm not even gonna
just randomly select.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you the options because it's too many. This one I'm gonna do because this is close to my heart. Am I the asshole for refusing to change my hair color for a wedding? Bitch, what?
What?
Exactly. So I'm the bridesmaid for a friend getting married next year. She was my bridesmaid this year as well. She chose to move her ceremony to next February. Basically, we're both of South Asian descent with mostly Caucasian friends. In terms of hair color, we both have black hair. She called me today and told me she wanted me to dye my hair another color. Not asked, told. She wants me to dye it a lighter brown so that she's the only one with black hair except for her family. I explained that I'm not massively comfortable dyeing my hair, as previously I actually had a reaction to hair dye. She suggested henna dye. For those who don't know, basically it's blocks of henna dye that you melt in a pot and use. It's more natural, but takes forever. I was still reluctant, but I said I'd look into it. A few hours later, I got a call from another friend asking why I'd upset the bride. Apparently, she'd taken my "I'll look into it" as a refusal. This has now completely made me want to say no. It's not like my hair is a crazy shade right now. I feel like I'm the asshole though, because our other friends are saying I should just do what the bride wants. The fuck out of here. Let me tell you something. My hair is a crazy shade. If you want me to be in your wedding and you ask me to be in your fucking wedding, now if you want me to do a particular hairstyle, yes. But you want me to dye my fucking hair a different color for your wedding. You're out of your rabbit ass mind, ma'am. Your friend, the bride is an asshole because she want to be the only bitch with black hair at the wedding. Girl, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, it's too much. Find you another bridesmaid. That's what you can do. Because I'm not dyeing my hair. Sorry.
So I don't want to come to your goddamn wedding. No way. Okay. I don't want to be in it. I don't want to participate. The relationship that we have as it exists is enough. I don't want to do no extra. Okay. Red, when you get married one day, I'm going to come to your wedding. Whether you put me in a role, whether you put me whatever, I'm coming to your wedding. Just know I don't want to fucking be there right now. Okay. Everybody who invite me to the wedding, I don't want to be there. All right. But I will do it because that's what support looks like. When you support people, when a motherfucker need help moving, I don't want to help you fucking move. But because I value you, I'll do the shit. Okay. So me being there, if you want me there, is the blessing that you get. Right. Yeah. Now, if you're telling me to modify myself, change myself, do some shit that's uncomfortable, pay more money than I'm willing to pay, fly somewhere, go somewhere, do something that's just too much outside of my comfort zone, then I don't want to do it. And if you have the audacity to ask for something that goes against anything that I would actually ever do on my own, then I'm not coming to your wedding and fuck you. And you deserve to be mad because I don't want to be involved and do that shit. I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Just
because
audacity.
Look, why do people come to weddings? It's just so they can witness the shit, right?
Yeah.
And why do people be in your wedding and help you be in your wedding? Like, what's the purpose of that shit?
Help you out. Help
just
you.
More involved witnesses.
Yep, pretty much. But you want me to do some permanent shit to my hair, some damaging shit. First of all, let me just say this. If you don't know anything about hair dye, Asian hair is some of the hardest hair to lift because their hair is so naturally dark. Okay. And if this ain't something that she would want to do on her own, asking her to do this for one fucking day, for your wedding day, just so you can have the pictures that you want to have, you done lost your mind. And again, my hair is a crazy color. Okay. My hair is red. All right. And if you feel like my red hair gonna clash with the colors of your wedding, then bitch, I'm just gonna be a guest. Be our guest. Be our guest. That's what I'm gonna be. Okay. Because what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna dye my hair for your fucking day. And then what? What I'm supposed to do after your wedding's over? Now I got dark hair that I never wanted, or she gonna have light hair that she didn't fucking want. All for you to have somebody in a fucking picture. You've lost your mind. Your friend is an asshole. And for her, you even said you would look into it. You didn't even, because listen, I would have told her right out, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. So you did better than me. You were actually going to consider the henna, which does take a long time. And honestly, henna on Asian hair ain't going to really do no shit anyway. It ain't going to line it up much if it does at all. So you did better than me. And then she take your I'll look into it and go run into the other people in the wedding party and being like, she's refusing. She's going to ruin my day. Fuck you. And anybody who called my phone with this bullshit, fuck them too. Okay?
And if you ever did that to me, not only would I not be in your party, but I wouldn't attend your wedding either.
Nope.
Like, I'm not coming.
No.
Like, you fucked that up.
Yep.
You fucked it up. I'm not
You
coming
crazy.
to your wedding. And if that alters our relationship, then fine, you know. But that's me. I'm just that kind of person. I don't really.
Well, the thing is this.
Ain't nothing to cut them bitches off.
I'm already, again, I at most, I would have a reception. I don't want to plan a wedding. I have no interest in that. And I have no interest in asking my friends to put out all this money to be in some shit on my day. Because I've been maid of honor before. That shit is fucking expensive. Okay? It's expensive. Because you got to get your hair done like everybody else for the pictures. Which my friend only wanted everybody to have, I think, an updo, but I had really short hair at the time, so it wasn't no updo. My hair was already up because I didn't have much of it. But it's a lot. The dress, the jewel, everything got to match everybody else, and so it's a lot of money. And I don't have a desire to ask people to do that shit for my one day. I just don't. I feel like it's excessive. I don't get it. Anybody that's had a wedding, no offense to you, because you got everybody got to make their own choice. But for me, it's just too much. And then you have people like this bride who got all of these excessive requests. And it's like, bitch, are you crazy? Are you insane? Like, no, I'm not doing that shit. Like I said, she better than me for even telling her that she would look into the henna, because I would have just told her right out, like, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. If this is a problem for you and this isn't going to go with what your theme is or what your vision is, then girl, find you another bridesmaid, because I'm not dyeing my fucking hair. Not. I'm sorry. Because you want to be the only one with black hair. Bitch. Crazy. Lost your mind.
Crazy as fuck.
Fuck out of here. Let's see. I'm going to do this one because it is some mental health shit.
Okay.
This is a 26-year-old female talking about her 26-year-old boyfriend. I am dating my boyfriend, who is a clinically diagnosed psychopath.
Oh, Jesus.
Hi. I've been dating this guy for 2 months and have known him for a little over 3 months now. On day one, he told me he is a clinically diagnosed psychopath and even battled depression for a bit. I was very wary of his actions, but decided to push through with this relationship because he was such a gentleman. I was very worried of this fact and didn't say yes right away when he wanted to be official. I met his closest friend and they seemed normal. All of his actions do not point to the typical psychopath mode. He's not narcissistic. He takes care of his close friends and family and likes to pamper me in my love language. He is actively working on his psychopathy with a therapist, but a part of me is just concerned in the future. What if something goes wrong? What if his mental issues start wreaking havoc in our day-to-day life after investing so much time in the relationship? And if anyone encountered the same dating experience as me, much appreciated with you sharing.
If
She need to watch that video.
If his personality starts wreaking havoc on y'all's day-to-day in your relationship, then you fucking leave. Who gives a fuck how much time you spent in a situation? How much more time are you gonna spend in a house that's on fucking fire because your shit in it and you've been living in it for a long time? I mean, you risk too much staying in a situation that's dangerous just because you've been in it for a while. No. If something start going wrong, then get the fuck on. Now, we have this American obsession with psychopathy as it pairs with serial killing.
Yes.
And murder. We don't think about the idea that there are people that are born with a predisposition to be psychopaths that are really functional psychopaths. They have the traits of a psychopath. They have the charm and they have the charisma. They are deeply goal oriented and motivated. They don't like to lose. They don't like to, they're very, motivated by what they're trying to achieve. But more than anything, I guess that they don't mind stepping on somebody else to get to where they're trying to get to. This is why when you talk about CEOs and politicians, the rate of psychopathy increases because that really sounds like a good boss or a good manager, and a person who is don't care about other people, which means that they may be very intentional on how they promote people and bring people. They may be very good at managing how much the company gives away. When you talk about something that's goal oriented, so when the company has a goal and they gives it to them and it's something that they can achieve, same thing with politicians, and they get it done. I mean, that's why those numbers go up. That those are good. So there's such things as functional psychopaths. The idea that because he's diagnosed as a psychopath means that something may come up is the same issue we have in our society with bipolar and with schizophrenia. It's like once you believe or know that somebody is clinically diagnosed with these things, you begin to look for things that give you confirmation bias about the problems that we have in our society with that thing. So if somebody they got bipolar and they get super mad about something, then you start thinking that must got something to do with their bipolar when it may very well just be a normal response to whatever is going on.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the shit that she got going on right now. She's looking at his diagnosis and saying, oh, psychopaths do these things. And I'm not seeing none of these things being done. But what if he start doing these things in the future? The fact that he ain't done no crazy enough shit to be in jail right now that you know of, and that he is in counseling to manage it, then you are in a better situation than anybody else can be. Just continue to judge him on his behaviors and his actions and what you rather have versus what his diagnosis is, because there's a lot of people that don't have diagnosis that are grade A fuckboys and been fuckboying for a long time and will fuck your life up. And you got to look at their behaviors to determine whether you want to continue to be in that, not whatever diagnosis they may have.
On point sent me this video before of this person that, and it's not, I mean, it's actually called antisocial personality disorder, but he had it and he was just talking about his experience and what it actually is like for him, because he ain't no serial killer, he ain't in and out of jail, he's functional and he's aware that he takes advantage of people and how to do that. And so it's just a very interesting video, and that this made me think of that.
And so for those of you that don't know what a functional psychopath looked like through his shit, basically when he was growing up at age 4, 5, he just didn't understand emotions. Yeah. He didn't understand why people got sad and angry when they did, and he didn't understand why people got happy when they did. He just didn't understand it. Like, that's the essence of psychopaths. They don't have empathy and understanding for other people's experiences. But what he did was he started to learn what people react to. I learned what make people happy. I learned what make people sad. And I realized that if you make people happy the right way, you can get what you want. And you can use sadness to get what you want through, emotional manipulation. And so he built up a system where he don't really understand emotion, but he understands what it does to people. And he understands that you can use that to manipulate people however you want to. And so his journey is about understanding that manipulation. I mean, he just had a really profound way of breaking down how he dealt with and managed that shit. And I can't quite even remember what he said, but he basically had a philosophical way of looking at how manipulation wasn't practical.
Yeah.
He said manipulation ain't practical. It only get me what I want for the moment. But in the bigger scheme of things, if my goal is to get this much, I can get more practically based on just being a good person versus being a bad person.
Yeah. And he still doesn't feel those emotions. It's amazing. Just his lack of understanding of it. Like, as far as what it actually, he doesn't know what it feels like. He knows what it looks like, but he doesn't feel it.
It was a good ass video.
It was a very good video.
I posted on the page. We've been saying we're gonna post it on the page for 2 years and never do. Yeah. So y'all know what that means. You gotta go find it yourself.
Yeah.
Or send me a message. Tag me in a message specifically and say I want that video, and I'll send it to you.
Okay, this one, because this happens to a lot of women, so I'm gonna do this one. You have any?
Nah, we're gonna wrap it up with well, I did have a few, but we'll wrap it up with a viral post.
Okay, this will be the last one, and I'll do that. This one, the title of this is "Guy is offended I told him I have a boyfriend." If this don't happen all the fucking time, oh, it's so annoying. Um, a man that works in my school offered to help me with something I was struggling in since I'm in a new country alone and I don't know how some things work. Plus the language barrier. I didn't seek him out. He approached me. I agreed and we met up, but the place was closed for corona restrictions and they told us to call on Monday. He insisted on getting coffee instead of just going our separate ways. He refused for me to pay for my drink. Then he took me to a park to talk, said he'll do my paperwork for me. He'll call for me on Monday and he'll go with me to sign the papers, etc. He said if I have any friends or family around, I said I have my boyfriend, but he's not in the country at the moment, and he got quiet. I had to start another topic to get him to talk again. He then walked me home to my door and told me before separating to call him if I feel like going out or if I want to be shown around the city. I told him I know the city well enough already, and I said goodbye. The next day he messaged me. I did not reply right away because I was uncomfortable. When I replied an hour later, he said, "Where were you? Were you sleeping?" I said, "No, I was using my computer." He said, "What were you doing? Having fun or something useful?" It was creepy, but I said something useful. He then said if I'd like to go for a walk with him by the river, if I'd like to go shopping with him. I definitely don't. I only went out with him yesterday because he offered to help. I told him I have a boyfriend and I don't think it's appropriate to go out with him without an important reason. He got very offended, sent me paragraphs saying I embarrassed him and that he helps all people, not just me, and he thought I was lonely and just wanted to help me. I apologized and said I'm thankful for his help, but he kept sending me so much text, making it seem like what I did was wrong and that I offended him and just making me really uncomfortable. Did I do anything wrong? I'm really worried about having to see him at school in January, and he's supposed to call the office for me on Monday, but I definitely don't want his help anymore. He sounds like a motherfucking.
Whole ass bitch.
You dodged the bullet, ma'am. You found out very early on that he's fucking insane, and you need to make sure to stay the fuck away from him because, my goodness.
Um,
Paragraphs, his response is a red flag.
I mean, men are entitled in our society. I mean, that's a part of that past ownership concept with women. And men feel like if a woman gives him time and if he obliges, that she's supposed to owe him something.
So
And motherfuckers don't want to hear that you got a boyfriend.
they
Motherfuckers
don't.
don't hear that you got a boyfriend.
They really don't.
Um, because they don't care. Now, if you don't care, that's fine. Like if it's like an open relationship and it's like, I got a boyfriend, and dudes be like, this is ideal then, because I don't like commitment anyway. You know what I'm saying? So if you already done committed to somebody and you want to chill with me, then shit, let's do it. And that's kind of what make the open relationship more difficult on my part, than on the woman's part, because it's like when I tell a woman, I got a girlfriend, oh shit's dead. You know what I'm saying? 75% of the time. Don't get me wrong, it's a 25% out there that's cool with it. But for me, the essence is transparency and being open. I feel like I feel like it's too much, because the reality, a part of me is saying, well, she should tell him that she got a boyfriend right up front when they meet without stuff. But you know what? That's her having to act based off of a man's own bullshit ass insecurities.
Yeah,
A
because like
person
what she
that
met
won't
up
help,
with him folk had nothing to do with dating.
yeah, a person that need help shouldn't have to say, okay, now just to let you know, this is completely platonic and I just really need some help. This is not an opportunity for you to make a pass at me because I'm in a relationship. And if you would consider my relationship as a problem with helping me and not want to, please just decline and go about your way. A woman shouldn't have to do that. You
No.
know what I'm saying? And so that's that man shit in me that make me be like, well, she should just tell. But the reality is, no, man should not just expect every fucking woman that they come into contact with to be somebody that they want to have any more engagement with than what the fuck the moment calls for. And if that woman gives you some hints and signs that she may be looking for more, then fucking inquire. But don't assume shit. and don't act entitled to a woman's anything because you do something for her.
Yeah, and it wasn't he because her behavior, even on that first, interaction, was very much, I have a boyfriend. This was about you helping me. I'm not interested in anything more than that. And even with that being right in his fucking face, he ignored that and started sending her messages, asking her about where she at and what she doing and why she ain't responding to him. Like, bitch, we ain't together. We not even friends. What are you talking about? I was minding my goddamn business when you sent me that text. That's what I was doing. Minding my business. You should try it. Fuck. No. It's insane. Man, run far away from him. And if it be weird, ignore him when January comes. You go to school. Hopefully, he been and found somebody else to be fucking creepy with and won't be bothering you anymore by that time. But no, you went wrong. No, you didn't leave him on. No, none of that shit. Like, he's fucking crazy. Stay away from him. So you end up on ID channel and be an episode that I watch. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, so
Go ahead.
you have anything further to say about that?
Nah.
All right. If you have a question, comment, a Reddit post, BuzzFeed post, whatever that you want us to talk about or comment on, send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook or reach out to us via any of our social media platforms, and we'll get back to you. So let's do some viral posts.
Let's do some viral posts. First viral post. Girls with no furniture are always trying to put you out. Girl, fuck this skating rink. You ever seen a house? That shit crazy.
I've always had furniture, so I can't relate. I hate when I see them pictures of people like you done got all dressed up, did your makeup, your hair, you standing in the mirror, and behind you is a mattress on the floor. Like, your priorities. You don't even have a bed. You have a bed. You're sleeping on the floor, on the mattress on the floor. I can't. But you want everybody to think you're a bad bitch. Like, ma'am, where's your bed?
Sleeping on the floor is better for your body.
Nigga, bye.
It is.
They're not sleeping on the floor. They're still sleeping on the mattress.
When I remember when I moved back to Montgomery, I remember my come up. I was sleeping on the floor for about a month and a half, 2 months.
On the floor,
I got a bed. On the floor. Okay, and then I got a mattress that I was on the floor.
Okay.
No bed rail. I didn't ever have bed rails in that place. It don't matter. It didn't matter to me. Bed rails didn't matter to me.
Pictures and posting them on social media with your bed in the back? Okay.
I don't do that. I do that. All right. Clearly, this is from Salty Skinny Guys. Just because you fat doesn't mean the front seat is automatically yours. I don't know what fat dudes assume that. Like, this motherfucker got one friend that said this shit, and this motherfucker cast a wide net over fat motherfuckers, making it sound like fat people just want the front seat. Niggas, sometimes the back seat is better for big niggas, man. That's just what it is. Sometimes the back is better for big people. Period. All right, this will be a good one for you to think about. What's a story you can't wait to tell your grandkids? And this dude said how my mom made me pump her gas when the DC sniper was active.
Goddamn.
Now, what you gonna tell your grandkids?
Probably the story about me skipping school, because it was such a fucking ridiculous overreaction, and the fact, well, by the time that I have grandkids, my dad won't be around, but the fact that their great grandfather stayed in his feelings about it. That, and probably, let's see, what's something with my mom. It's so many stories that I could tell. I could tell the story about the one time my mom to this day talks about when I was a kid. I was like 12 or 13, and I was emo. Okay, emo wasn't even a thing back then, but I was emo. And she bought me some clothes for Christmas, and knew when she bought that shit, when she went in the store and purchased this shit, she knew that there was not in the style of dress that I was wearing. Okay, she bought me a fucking pink long sleeve shirt and some pink and purple plaid pants. That ain't no shit that I would ever have chosen to wear. Okay. So it was a Christmas gift. I opened it up and I was like, oh yeah, okay. Never wore it. When I tell you to this day, my mom would not buy me clothes. And what she will say is, well, you remember I bought you that outfit. Like, I was 12. I am 35 years old now. You still remember that shit. Like, she talk about this like it happened yesterday. It's the most ridiculous fucking thing. Whole grudges. Like, she's still upset about that outfit. And it
Damn.
was like, you bought it knowing I wasn't gonna like it. Like, this was your trying to get me into colorful shit because you felt like that's what I should have been in. Like, you knew you didn't buy that for me. You bought that for you. And you don't get mad because I didn't want to wear it and like hold it over my head for life. I'm serious. When I say to this day, my mom will be like, well, I saw this and I thought, thought about you, but you know how picky you are. I was 12. You've got to let it go. You have to.
She ain't letting shit go.
She's not. She's not going to let it go.
She don't give a fuck.
And then any number of hilarious stories about my dad when he was drinking. I mean, they're funny now. It was sad at the time.
Yeah.
But some of the shit is just so fucking unbelievable that I think, yeah, I probably tell some of those stories. Like the goat story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to dedicate a lot of my time making sure that my kids know that one day I'm gonna tell their kids all of the embarrassing stories that I can about them. So it ain't even shit that I got right now. I'm just gonna, when I have kids, I'm gonna be like, look, you're going to hear a lot of shit from me across your life, and I'm gonna tell it to your kids all the time you do embarrassing shit. Just wanna let you know.
My mom does. Did she tell you the story about when I peed in the bed?
I don't think
When you
so.
met her? She made me go to bed. My brothers got to stay up. I had to go because I was like fucking 3 or 4 somewhere, something like that. And so I peed in the bed purposefully. And so the next morning, she's like taking the sheets off, and who the fuck asked a 4-year-old this? But she was like, why did you pee in the bed? And I gave her an honest answer. I told her because she made me mad. Because she wouldn't let me stay up. She whooped my ass.
Wrong answer.
You tell them to tell the truth. Then I tell you the truth, and I get in trouble for telling you the truth. Because she was like, I wouldn't have even whooped you if you had said because you didn't wake up or like something like that. But you looked me in my face and told me you did that shit on purpose.
Lie.
Honesty.
She would have whooped your ass anyway.
Probably.
She was gonna whoop your ass anyway because black families, they love saying that I would not have whooped you if you told the truth after they whooped your ass, but you don't have no evidence in your life of telling the truth and not getting your ass whooped.
Exactly, because this was a moment in which I told the truth. This was the truth. Like a lie would have been like, I couldn't wake up, I'm asleep. Like that would have been the lie. The truth was, you wouldn't let me stay up, so I pissed in her. She tell that story to let people know that I've been not, I guess, stubborn since the day I was born. But she tells everybody that fucking story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna be that parent too. Them fucked up stories of the bullshit that you did as a kid. Yeah, when you bring your significant other over, I want them to know who they really with. Shit, what I went through to get you to the person that you are today that they want to date. They ain't have to go through the trudges of getting you here. Shit.
All right, what's next on the chopping block? Not feeding my daughter until I secure the PS5. Her blood is on your hands at Walmart.
Damn.
All of these Walmart memes coming out about women buying men the PlayStation and shit.
Yeah, I keep saying that.
That shit's so stupid to me.
Yeah, it is.
But there's a lot of dudes out here who ain't got the money that girls do. They girls do.
Yep.
And that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Quit spending your money on $10 worth of weed a day and say some of that shit. $20 worth of weed. So Jeffrey Toobin was fired. You know who Jeffrey Toobin is?
Why does it sound familiar?
So he worked on a New Yorker and he was a CNN correspondent.
Oh, he showed himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he exposed himself on a Zoom call, masturbated, and it could have
And
been
he
on
thought it had hung up.
it could have been on purpose, and he knew he could use the excuse that was an accident. But it don't really matter. What he did is what he did. And then, like, somebody tweeted this. Well, this was his tweet. I was fired today by at New Yorker after 27 years as a staff writer. I will always love the magazine, will miss my colleagues, and will look forward to reading their work. And then somebody posted, in addition to masturbating on camera during a work meeting, Tubin previously stalked a colleague demanding to fist her and met and seduced a junior employee at work, then impregnated her and tried to force her to get an abortion. If he gets to play the victim here, then I am done. After this, once his impregnated coworker refused to get an abortion, he offered to pay to have her inseminated by another sperm donor. She declined this generous offer and had his baby. Then Tubin refused to pay child support until court ordered. Bruh, this is the most white man shit ever. Like, to have been able to have a 27-year career after some shit like that is wild. I don't know if this happened 27 years ago, but like, to be able to do that and still have a job, that's
Who the
wild.
fuck gets off a business meeting and just like, gonna check off now? Like,
Yeah, it's a lot of hypersexual people out here.
I mean, but
I met a girl who says she masturbate like 13, 14 times a day. No matter whether she at work or whether she not, she just hypersexual like that. And it's a disorder in some people because, like, some kids do that. Like,
yeah, because he that, or is he just a fucking creeper?
He may not be a creeper, but if he ain't, he a bad decision maker. Let me see. Chris Brown hits different when he's your boyfriend.
Wow.
Yeah, we talked about Chris Brown.
That's rude.
We talked about Chris Brown in that stream that I had the other day, and I didn't know that he was 17 years old when all that shit went down.
Yeah, they were both young.
Yeah, but like, he got the grown man adult treatment from that shit that happened when he was a kid.
He did.
Because if you had a kid on your caseload that punched a girl at school, he wouldn't get adult treatment.
Nah, he wouldn't.
He would get suspended for 3 days and be able to come back to school. Like, kids get so much leeway to do bullshit. John Gray, the pastor that's been cheating on his wife, cheated on her the first time about a car. That man cheated on this woman again.
My God.
This shit say, wait, John Gray cheated again? I thought y'all were bringing up the one from before. That man will lift his stomach up for anybody.
That's the one. Oh, that shit was so funny to me. Yeah, I saw that. Look, listen. Are we surprised? This nigga cheated and bought her a Lamborghini, was it? Was it a Lamborghini?
Maybe.
Ferrari, some expensive ass.
Might have been a Lambo, but some expensive ass car.
Like, that does not give me security that he won't do it again. I'm not surprised that he did the shit again. Now she gonna stay and what he gonna buy this time?
I don't know, man. She need to just leave.
She should have left the first fucking time. If you cheat on me and your way of atoning for that is to bring a fucking car to the house, my nigga, we got some problems. Okay, that's not no. So she definitely need to leave this time. Because it's going to be another time.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through this post, listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony as a kid.
Okay.
Bone, 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 bone. Now tell me what you gonna do when there ain't nowhere to run. When judgment comes for you, cause it's gonna come for you. Nigga, hippopotamus, easy as Uncle Charlie, and a boop is God got it, and I'm gonna miss everybody. I done rolled and fold the game, look and I want to play, done played the destiny, thanks for me to stay, in a land that's Ubi, tell me the adventure please, living in bye-bye land, you ran, land.
Yes. God bless
That's
you for the heavens. Found the Lord on 24/7 days. Then
Gotta see the play, even though that was all up in my face. I'm giving me safe.
I
How we do?
Yep. That song is one of those songs where like you just until you get to the words that you know.
Until you get to, I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all.
Oh.
That's like, if you on point with that part, then you good. It's like some words show up.
Yeah.
That shit was so stupid.
You know the song "1 Week" by Bare Naked Ladies?
Nope.
You don't know that song? It's
Nope.
been 1 week since something.
Nope.
That song is the same way because the guy who I guess is it rap? I guess he's more rapping than singing, but it's the same shit with like is you jump in with the words that you know, and then the rest is just nah. People do that with or did that with "Weak" by SWV. Weak in the knees. We do that with a lot of songs, but Bone was like, yeah.
Next one. So Donald Trump Jr. says 70 million pissed off Republicans and not one city burned to the ground. Response: your dad got legally voted out, not murdered by 3 cops in broad daylight.
He doesn't have a concept. That's that white privilege. He has no concept of why everybody was protesting during those times. All he knows is that something happened that people didn't like and they was protesting and burning down shit. So this happened and he don't like it and he feel like people should also be burning down shit because he has no concept of what was actually behind it because he doesn't care because it doesn't impact him.
Yeah, he's weird. Don't understand shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when Biden wins, watch how I don't wear his name on a hat or fly his flag on my lawn for 4 years like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. You know what? So I had a couple of people in my neighborhood with Trump Pence 2020 flags. One of them took that shit down immediately after like it was called. Now he just got an American flag waving around. Now the old lady, she doubled down and she got her little sign in her yard and she's not gonna take that shit down. But the guy with the one flying from his house took that shit down.
But he ain't gonna get a Biden one.
Oh, he ain't gonna get a Biden one, but he sure ain't gonna continue to fly that Trump one.
Mm-hmm. News: Secretary Ben Carson tested positive for COVID-19 this morning. His deputy chief of staff says he's in good spirits and feels fortunate to have access to effective therapeutics which aid and markedly speed his recovery. Carson attended the election night party at the White House.
Yep.
If he died, I'm just gonna know that the Republican Party trying to get rid of blacks for this and with COVID. Herman Cain died, then him.
Herman Cain now fucking Ben Carson. And you know what? Ben Carson is like Ben Carson apparently was a very good neurosurgeon, and now his legacy, were he to die, is being a shucking and jiving ass nigga for Trump. Like that's what your legacy is now, not your neurosurgery shit. Like, woo,
it's the life he chose.
Wrong side of history. Like you could have had a very great legacy for yourself, and now it's just being a shucking and jiving nigga for the Republican Party. Trump specifically, not even the Republican Party, because there's nothing wrong with being a black Republican, but Trump shit, that's terrible.
Yeah. Last one. Bitches be saying Vegas ain't ready for us. Like Vegas never had 5 musty, out of shape, big back bitches before.
Damn.
Yeah, that was hard.
That was
hardcore.
Like,
God. Damn, bro.
Who hurt you?
So a big, musty, out of shape, big back bitch, apparently.
My God. Dude, that's personal.
She hurt him.
A little personal.
She hurt the motherfucker.
Bad.
But anyway, that's all I got for viral posts. And we are at 2 hours.
All right.
Listen, man, I just want to remind y'all that, like, from my story this morning, that's like, just for some motivational shit, like, you can't let life happen to you. You got to happen to life. Meaning that you need to be prepared as much as you can be, physically, psychologically, emotionally, to manage anything that come your way unexpectedly or even expectedly. It's some shit that you're going to know about at some point in your life that is going to hurt. Deaths, on diseases and disorders, all kind of different things. Happen to life. Don't let life happen to you, man. That's all I got. You got anything else on your mind?
I do not.
All right. Well, until we come to the next conversation,
We out.
holla.